Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Back in OTB, hour number 2 here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Jake, Flynn, Alondra, Cassie here with you on a Friday afternoon. One of the most underrated players in LSU history got some dollar bills yesterday. You'd like to take a guess who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Nope. Alondra, guess who I'm talking about? He still currently plays in the National Football League.
An underrated LSU football player.
One of the most underrated of all time. Might be a Hall of Famer by the end of his career. Actually, should be by the numbers.
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter.
Nice.
Alondra knows ball.
Let's go.
Matthew doesn't. Cassie was sweating. Because she was next.
Don't call me.
Danielle Hunter and the Texans agreed to a 1-year, $40 million contract extension.
There we go.
40. So
well deserved.
Top 5 in the league in sacks yet again. This is Hunter's second extension with Houston after signing a 2-year, $49 million deal back in March of 2024. Whoa. I finished with 12 sacks in a Pro Bowl in 2024. So the Texans gave him a 1-year, $35.6 million extension to the back end of that original deal. They also gave him $12 million raise in 2025, bumping his salary to $32 million, and then now this year. $1 year, $40 million for Danielle Hunter, who was third in the NFL with 15 sacks a year ago. Just continues to be so impressive, continues to be one of the best in the game. He's an incredible human being if you've ever had the pleasure of having a conversation with him. And he's going to end his career potentially with a gold jacket.
Yeah.
He has 114 and a half career sacks. He had like 4 at LSU.
Previous to this year, I would say the common fan out there who isn't like fully into the NFL probably didn't really know the name.
Yeah.
Just like the standard passerby or fan, like you don't see any Hunter jerseys walking around.
No.
And you're talking about like stats just having this sleepy, I don't even want to say sleepy, like this subtle little career that nobody's talking about. And you're mentioning him with a gold jacket, which is pretty incredible. So well-deserved. Good for you. And certainly try to keep that defense together. Get rid of C.J. Stroud. Replace that guy.
Dude, he hurt you at some point. You hate C.J. Stroud.
It was card stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's card induced.
Yeah, that's true. It's an investment
Everything
situation.
always circles back to the cards.
That's true. So Danielle Hunter in his career, this is going back to 2015, has seasons of 6 sacks, 12.5, 7, 14.5, 14.5. Only played 7 games, still had 6 sacks, 10.5, 16.5, 12, and 15. He just had his second most in a season.
And he looked good doing it, too. Muscles.
That's what we used to look like in our uniform, right?
Well, yeah, for sure, obviously. Didn't want to say it. Thanks for bringing it up, though.
What an incredible career, though. I mean, really, 114.5 sacks. Very well-deserved. One of the best to do it at his position. Houston's not going anywhere. Now they got to get better quarterback play, to your point. But So you can do those kind of things too when you got some money to spend. That's what kind of brings us back to the Saints. Like the Texans, $22 million of cap room still.
Hey, that's enough to go get you a little quarterback.
You know who has the most cap room in the National Football League?
Let me kind of blind guess here. Seahawks.
No. Although they got a lot. Seahawks got $58 million.
Yeah, pretty decent.
John's so good at his job.
I don't know. John Snyder, I love that man so much.
He's a good dude.
He's a great dude. The most room in the let's say someone else random. The Dolphins
Playoff team.
playoff team. Eagles. No, it's not.
Chargers. They have the most cap room by over $6 million. They've got $99 million of cap space. Titans are second. Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Seahawks, Bengals, Steelers, Cardinals, Patriots.
Somebody getting overpaid.
That's not really their MO, though.
They have to spend a certain percentage.
They have to. Yeah, you can't hold on to all of it. I believe they did just sign a center from the Commanders, but that was like 3 years, $30 million. So you're okay. Let's have this conversation because I can tell you're done with talking about numbers. You're the Chargers. You've got $99 million to spend. Okay, you just made the playoffs in a very difficult division with the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know this isn't the best free agent class. I had a GM tell me at the Combine, he's like, yeah, you know those top 100 lists that you see of top 100 free agents? He said they could probably cut that down to 35.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, it's not great. I'm like, okay. But still, like, you can add pieces.
I mean, 100 free agents list is pretty ridiculous list to make.
Like, your window's open right now. You have Justin Herbert. You've got Harbaugh. Like, you've got nice pieces. You got a good defense. You got to go spend that money. Like, you got to be smart. But, like, for the Chargers, like, if I'm them, I'm like, all right, I am going to sign a veteran running back. I'm not going to – or a couple of them. I'm not going to have what happened to me last year with Najee Harris. I'm signing multiple 4 to 6 solid offensive linemen.
4 to 16 probably, the way they get theirs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys that I'm signing to be backups are guys that have starts other places.
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving them like a 2-year, $4 million contract, 4 to 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe guy past his prime, maybe a guy that's a spot starter, but with experience. I'm not having Uber drivers out there protecting Justin Herbert anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a way to spend money in a good way, not overpay for somebody, create depth, and have a good – like, you make the postseason and you got almost $100 million under the cap. Like, you got to go spend some of that because these windows don't stay open very long. They only have $5 million of dead money.
Yep.
To give you a comp, the Saints have $66 million
Do you
of dead
know,
money.
can you restructure people – let's just say they can't find $99 million to spend on new people. So you're going to restructure. Maybe you have some guys, of course, in your room that you're going to want to sign to long-term deals that might be coming up on their last year, whatever it is. But like, could you restructure like a Justin Herbert to not to change his pay? Because I know he is recently somewhat. When did he sign his contract extension? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. But like, could you say, all right, well, he's owed $50 million this year, $50 million next year, $50 million the following year? Could you structure to say, let's take 25 of it from next year and put it towards this year's salary cap? Do you know, like, if that works that way? Don't think
that anybody's ever been like, hey, we got some extra.
We got some extra. I want a $75 million cap it with just Herbert this year.
Because then you know how it is. I think then if you do something like that, then you're like resetting the market again, and then like all these quarterbacks like, hold up, Herbert's making $75 million this year.
He's not resetting the market because this annual salary is just the cap is getting like the cap hits differently. He's not restructured at 75 per year. It's just like when somebody signs for $50 million a year, but the cap, 8 of it gets hit in 2029. It's just I don't know how those gymnastics work. Just saying, like, this, we've never really been in this position, this situation. You just said they got almost $100 million to spend for a playoff team whose offensive line, they had players on their offensive line. They just all got hurt.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have like these glaring weakness, like enough weakness to go spend $100 million, but they do. You have to spend up to 95% of the salary cap. It's at least 90.
I think it's 90.
90%.
But to your point,
So
either
you
way,
have to spend it.
Right. Like you got to spend like $270 million per team.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have, but problems are problems, no matter if they're good or bad. They have to be solved.
So that makes them a player for Trey Hendrickson and some of the other top free agents that are out there. I'm just glad the Saints have some money as well. Now, what they do with that money.
I'm glad they have money, and Mickey's on a heater.
So when you go to ESPN.com, put out an article, and Kat Terrell contributed to this. Biggest need, it says, for the New Orleans Saints, interior offensive line. It says Saints coach Kellen Moore identified the run game as one of the areas the team needs to improve, and that upgrade, of course, does begin with your offensive front. So it is funny, like we always talk about how bad they are in pass protection, but they weren't great in run blocking either. So I know it's not sexy, I know it's not flashy, but you need some real help in the interior of that offensive front. Like Eric McCoy's good, but he's got to stay healthy. Cesar Ruiz, not good, and you gave him more money. Like you got to, and I hate bagging on the guy, but it is what it is. Just like if we didn't play well, people told us.
Mm-hmm.
Not played well in a long time.
People tell us every day like we don't do well at radio.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. People tell us we don't do good in a lot of things.
Yeah, we're not immune to it.
Yeah, you get
Neither
home
is
sometimes
Caesar.
you don't do great.
Maybe Caesar was hurt. Maybe he had a couple broken legs.
For 4 years. You gave him more money, so that's on you. So you can't do another one of those deals. But, again, it's a place where you've got to upgrade, and you've got to make some tough decisions. You know, Alontae Taylor, he might walk. Marshawn Lattimore got traded. Paulson Adebo left in free agency. Like, you've lost some real talent at that position, but can you bring him back? I don't know that you're going to bring back Cam Jordan, as we've talked about. So, and as Kat kind of summarizes here, like, what do you expect to happen? And it says, re-sign only one of their big four free agents. The Saints seem set to lose Alontae Taylor. Cam Jordan will become a free agent next week. The league year starts Wednesday. Mentions that a Cam Jordan reunion isn't out of the question, but it's more likely that if you bring back one of your savvy vets, it's going to be Demario Davis and not Cam Jordan.
Okay. Who's playing at an extremely high level as well, well into his 30s.
If you lose both those guys, that's a big hit in the locker room as well.
The production this year matched their leadership because it was great. Their production was great, but that's a big void to fill. Like just a straight, how long has those two been in the locker room and everybody's leaned on them?
Yeah.
That's hard to replace that for any dollar amount.
Yeah, and there's going to be some people that want Demario Davis. I know he's 37 years old, but when you look at the linebackers that are available, the top guys are all older guys. Bobby Wagner's going to be 36. Levante David is 36. Caden Ellis is going to be 31. Matt Milano is going to be 31. And Zalone is going to be 32 when the season starts. So all the top linebackers are going to be older, so they're not going to completely shy away from Demario Davis because he is 37. He just had one of his best years of his career. So you're going to have competition for him as well. That's why it was so imperative you get under the number, because you got to make some moves, and you got to make some moves on some guys that were on your team. It's not just bringing in new guys from new places. Mm-hmm. But Matt Flynn, big Mickey fan, says he's going to get it done.
You're going to get it done. Playoff bound. Saints. Who dat?
All right, we'll take a break. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com, the place you can sign up for residential, commercial trash pickup service. You can check out 3 different sizes of roll-off dumpsters, depending on what your project has going on. Give them a call. Here's what I have at my home, my business. They tell you exactly what size roll-off dumpster you need. Maybe you've got an event. Maybe you've got a big party going on and you need some portable restrooms as well. Well, guess what? The new sanitation department, they've got you covered there. It's going to be an incredibly easy process. You get the great customer service with the sanitation department that you do with the residential, commercial, roll-off dumpsters, all of that. trashrangers.com.
Right, trashrangers.com. Trash Rangers, the most reliable trash removal, trash pickup service in Louisiana, and also waste removal. So they're Trash Rangers Sanitation Department. If you have a construction site, if you have a big party, whatever it is, make sure you're not calling the big national companies for those portable toilets. Make sure you're calling Trash Rangers Sanitation. You can go check all that, get the info for their sanitation department, all their dumpsters, all their roll-offs, whatever it is, right there. Trashrangers.com.
I was walking down the street when out the car.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
You pay the right price. Your evening will be nice and you can go and send me on my way. I said you're such a sweet young thing. Why you do this to yourself? She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down. I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Not even 50.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. You got Jay Clark joining us in about 10, 15 minutes from now. LSU gymnastics.
They've been crushing.
Have they? Mm-hmm. Good Tigers. All right, what do you want to talk about? I was told the numbers are not what we want to talk about. So where are we
No,
going
if y'all
here?
want to talk about numbers, talk about numbers.
We got a
It was just a suggestion.
LSU baseball, Sacramento State.
Hell yeah.
They need to bounce back.
Boy, do they.
Couple losses in a row.
Well, get right weekend.
Need one. Lose Monday 13-10. You lose Wednesday 7-2. Sacramento State coming into town on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6:30 p.m. first pitch. Saturday, 6 p.m. first pitch, and then Sunday, a 1 p.m. first pitch. And then you got Creighton in the midweek on Tuesday before you head to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Need some momentum, that's for sure, going into SEC play, and it's got to start this weekend against Sacramento State.
Yeah, you got to get the bats rolling. Certainly, I think I feel like as fans, and I think Jay Johnson probably feels pretty good about his 3 weekend starters right now. And I think he even mentioned that he's got a pretty good idea of his four main, 4 relievers are that he feel really comfortable with. But it's all about the bats. Got to get them hot.
Sacramento State's 3-9.
Okay.
It didn't really matter, I think, with Northeastern. They kind of similar record. Sacramento State has not won an away game. They've lost 5 games in a row.
They beat St. Joseph's twice.
I hear St. Joseph's salty this year.
Salty, real salty.
You got to sweep the series. It is what it is. They've lost 5 in a row. They lost to Pacific. They got swept by Cal. And they lost at Fresno State. It is what it is. You hate calling for sweeps. You need to get right. They're bad. You haven't played well. You got to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
UC
hit the
Irvine
ball.
swept them.
Well,
Cal
and UC
swept
Irvine's a
them.
good program for sure.
Cal
But
swept them.
it's not a great team. You got to do the things that you haven't been doing, right? You have to go out there. You have to be better at the plate. Obviously, we talked about it going back a couple of weekends ago. Like, you were really good on the mound. It's kind of fallen apart. You've given up 13 and 7, so 20 combined runs your last 2 games. I know you scored 10 runs against Northeastern, and I know you made a little comeback there, but as y'all pointed out, that was with a lot of backups. That's guys that were pinch hitting in that game. They were the ones that made the comeback. You didn't get anything started after you got your first 2 hitters on base a ton on Wednesday night in Lafayette. This lineup, as much as anything, they've got to have a breakout weekend. They got to get a get-right situation against Sacramento State.
Yeah, Wanda, what did we say yesterday? The last 6 games, batting about 210.
I think
Or
it was
starting?
217.
217,
Yeah.
the starting lineup.
Yes.
And that's with Curiel having a really nice day at the plate against Lafayette. So that's even with that. So obviously he wasn't getting on base how you like until that game. So hopefully that carries on.
Yeah.
And you got to get the middle of that lineup going.
It's really the middle of the lineup. And if you want to make a change, like I would say Trent Carraway is making a case to be like third in the lineup because he's second on the team in RBI. He's clutch in the moments he had that grand slam a couple weekends
He's got
ago.
2 home runs on the year or 3?
I think it's 2 because he had the other one versus
Lafayette,
Lafayette. Where scored the only 2 runs that we had. So, I mean, again, like I think that LSU probably will and can sweep the series because they've swept every weekend. It's the midweek games that are kind of struggling. And yes, 100% they need to get the offense going. But I still feel really good about the team, even though they're kind of cold right now. And it's really the defensive side that like kind of gives me some worries. You've got like a lot more errors this season than you had the entire last season.
Yeah.
And you're replacing a lot. You're replacing second base, first base, and third base. So I just think that everybody just needs to find a rhythm. And I feel like it's been in the past where Jay's teams kind of start off a little slow, and then once you get into that SEC play and everybody starts to kind of get to know each other and like find the team chemistry and stuff like that. Not that they don't have it now, but it's different practicing and scrimmaging than being in actual games. So I think that the issue that can cause issues with Sacramento State is that teams, smaller mid-major teams, try to like pepper you a little bit and just get the ball in play, and we'll play like some small ball and like situational hitting and stuff like that.
Defensive issues.
So that's the one thing that I would watch out for with Sacramento State is can LSU's defense that has been kind of struggling a little bit deal with the small ball.
I guess it's more normal for batters to go cold than like defensively to go cold. But I mean, I guess it's the beginning of the year. Jay's still figuring out what his roster is, who's defensive line. Like, there's probably positions that he's still probably tweaking, and then sometimes you got to take a lower batting average to get a better glove.
Yeah.
And so maybe he's still trying to figure all that. But that I would agree. Like, that's more of a concern on defensively, the errors, than like going cold at the play. That happens. So it's baseball. It's a long season. Like, you go through these streaks, and hopefully you got more guys that aren't on them than are. But everybody gets a cold streak. So it's just been unfortunate that everybody's kind of been cold, right? Most of the batters have been.
Whenever Curiel's hot, York and Stephen Milam are cold. If Milam's hot, Curiel's cold. So I don't think that they've ever been like synergized.
They're not ham and egging right now.
They're not synergized.
They're not synergized.
You'll
Jake.
probably see Ethan Lay tonight, who is usually their Friday starter. Interestingly enough, he bats too. I don't know if he has this season, but he's like a two-way player. Like, he'll hit and he'll pitch. But
Sweet.
probably see Ethan Lay tonight. And probably see Kason Evans for LSU.
We're going to crush Ethan. And strike him out. Both.
And strike him out.
Yeah, defense.
Yeah, 3 losses. Sorry.
Defense is certainly not something that has been stellar. And last year, the biggest thing Jay would always talk about was the defense and how good they were. And these losses, you've had multiple errors in these games. You have not given yourself an opportunity. So there's a lot of things, right? A lot of things that LSU needs to work on here in this series against Sacramento State, something they need to go out there and kind of refocus. They started the season so hot, right? They've hit a rough patch here, certainly to their standard, and you've got conference play coming up here next weekend. I mean, it is here. You've got this series, you've got Creighton, and you've got a road trip to Vanderbilt.
Let's go.
Let's see if the boys over at the box can get it done tonight. All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, number 2 LSU gymnastics team is taking on the number 4 Florida Gators.
Let's go.
Matt's favorite team. We'll talk about it when we come back with Jay Clark, head coach of the gymnastics team, right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com, Gulf Coast Office Products, the leader in office solutions here in the Gulf South. If you own a business, right, if you are, part of a law firm, if you're part of an engineering firm, but if no documents are going to be crucial. They're going to be critical to your success. Gulf Coast is the only person to work with. I mean, so many different professions, obviously. Even sports teams, we talk about all the time. Pelicans, Saints, Tigers, Raging Cajuns, all trust Gulf Coast office products because when you need a document, you don't need it tomorrow, you need it right now. And that's what you're going to get with Gulf Coast office products, gcopnet.com.
Yeah, and kind of what sets Gulf Coast office products apart from the rest is not just like the technical stuff, not the tech, not the equipment, it's the people. Their award-winning local service team responds fast. They can get you back up. Something happens, technology, something happens all the time. They can get it back up and running so your office is not down for long. gcopnet.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
I wanted love, I needed love, most of all. Someone said.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Going to go to the phone lines now. Jay Clark, head coach, LSU Gymnastics, joins us now. Coach, we appreciate the time. Hope you're doing well.
What's up this morning, guys?
Doing fantastic. Any chance that the Tigers get to face off against the Florida Gators is a good day for OTB. So we've got that going for us. But for you, and every time I feel like we talk with you, it's like the same story. If we go back over the last, 2.5, 3 weeks, you are going to face the number 1, the number 3 team in the country twice, the number 17 team in the country, and now you're going on the road against the number 4 team in the country. Just kind of business as usual for you and your gymnastics team.
Yeah, it's getting kind of repetitive for sure. But when 7 of the top 8 in the country are in this conference, I guess it's unavoidable. It's crazy, but we enjoy it, man. I think our kids do better in those environments against those kind of teams, and so on to the next one, man. We'll be down there in Gainesville Sunday evening. I think it's 6 Eastern, and I guess it's on ESPN too or something like that. So hopefully everybody tunes in and maybe we can pull one off.
Coach, let's take I know it's Friday, headed into the week, heading into the next meet, but let's take a look back since we hadn't talked to you since last Friday, and let's look at what you did this past week. And of course, you beat Alabama, you top Alabama on Friday night, then you go to the Podium Challenge and come on top of that one. It just seems like your girls are really kind of performing at a very high level at this point of the season.
They are, and we were able to make some lineup changes and get some people in that had not been in a whole lot, and see what they would do, and try to develop the depth that we keep talking about we have. But it's not depth if you don't develop it. So we got an opportunity on Sunday to see how they did, and actually improved our score from Friday to Sunday. So feel really good about where we are right now, and knock on wood, our health is holding pretty well right now. So, we feel good. We've got 2 more meets in the regular season, and then get into the SEC championship and see where we can take this thing.
So, Coach, being in this situation like you have so many different times, being one of the top teams in the country, getting to this point in the season, are there a lot of things that you do with your team that are going to be repetitive, a lot of things that you've done in years past? Or is every year kind of different and there's new challenges, there's new things, there's new teams, there's new teammates, and maybe you got to kind of switch it up a little bit?
Well, the overarching principles stay the same, but as you know, every team has its own personality, and different people emerge, in terms of filling voids that were left, and voices change and all those things. So, we make allowance for that, and we sort of read the tea leaves and try to stay present and where we are. But at the same time, the overarching principles and the messaging and what works for us stays the same. And a lot of these kids came here because they understood what that looked like, and so it doesn't change an awful lot. But you do have to make allowances for those that step up into the leadership role that have different sort of nuances to the way they like to express things and do things.
Coach, I'm curious. So you're going into this next meet against Florida. So, like, from Jake and I's perspective, when we just hear the name Florida Gators, it like creates a very emotional response in us with just like,
bro, me too, man. I'm telling you, it is the all-time word. Now you listen, you're talking. I've been here 14 years, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm an LSU Tiger. But you got to remember where I'm from too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Georgia. We don't like those guys a whole lot. So
double whammy.
So it evokes a visceral response from me as well, and I have a hard time tamping that down during the week and remembering that we don't have defense because I really would like to play some.
Coach, it's so funny because it's such a cool thing about sports, especially college sports, and no matter what the sport is, it's like sometimes we could just drop the coach speak and just talk how it is. Like we don't like them over here, and it's fantastic. It's a great rivalry, and that's why. And you always want them to be good too. We talk about it from a football perspective. I want Florida to be good at football because when I beat them, I want it to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, there's a difference between not liking people and also having respect for your opponent. Because look, that roster we're going against this weekend may be the most loaded I've ever seen in 35 years. I mean, they're ridiculously talented, but we always compete hard when we're there, and I love going there. It's generally very, very close and a great environment. Not quite like the PMAC, but also very good. And we get excited about these environments, man. It's why they come here. It's why you come to the SEC, and it's why you come to LSU is to get into this kind of situation.
That's really where I wanted to go next and ask you, because obviously you've been very successful. LSU's won national championship, a lot of attention around the gymnastics program. So, Coach, when you go on the road to one of these SEC environments, I have to imagine they're not whispering sweet nothings to your team. I mean, you're a team that everybody wants to beat, and that's a compliment whenever you get to that status.
Yeah, and you know, people think of our sport that haven't been to the PMAC or been in these environments, and they think you're sitting on your hands like you're at Wimbledon or something. But you're not. I mean, these student sections are crazy. Some of the things that get hurled at you verbally are every bit as hard to hear as they can be in a football stadium. So it's interesting. People don't extend greater respect just because it's a bunch of young women out there.
Coach, this part of the season, you have quite an advantage, especially on your staff. What does Haley Bryant mean to the girls on the team right now, especially kind of going into the season, getting ready to postseason? What does she mean to you, your team, and your staff?
I think she stabilizes a lot of things because they had such an incredible respect for her as their teammate. And, you know, you worry about that when you hire somebody right out of school and you don't know you know, in a typical situation, I would not have done it. If it had not been Haley Bryant, I would not have hired somebody right out of college and coaching their teammates from the previous year. But they had such an amazing high level of respect for her that the transition has been very, very easy. And they feel like they've got an even deeper confidant, and I trust her with that. You know, they can bring things to her that she understands that she can provide a greater level of perspective on now that she's, you know, crossed over to the dark side of the force, and she just really does a great job of honoring her position, but also kind of staying in that role where she was as a teammate, where they can come to her with things that she has such a gentle sort of servant-minded leadership style that she's constantly trying to help you, even if you make a mistake, you mess up, she's going to kind of come alongside you rather than point her finger and bark at you. And I think they really appreciate that about her. And I think it's really helped us a lot in ways that I guess I didn't even anticipate, that aren't necessarily tangible things that I could express to you.
Yeah, it's certainly an experience and a leadership that not many girls, like you said, if it wasn't Haley Bryant, then it probably wouldn't have happened. So
That's right.
It's quite an asset, and I can only imagine, just from a mental perspective, that's going to help in the postseason as well. Coach, I want to stick with asking another Haley Bryant question, but it's not about LSU, so I want to get away just for a second. And I want to ask a question for kind of the casual gymnastics fan that love LSU gymnastics, but maybe not tuned into like the rest of it in detail of gymnastics. So
Right.
Hey, Haley Brown, I want to ask you, what's the difference between college gymnastics and Olympic type gymnastics? Because when Haley Bryant was beating girls that were going to the Olympics, I wanted to just you can give me like just a brief explanation of what the difference is between that competition and the college competition.
In simplest terms, it's the number of skills that we have to do. Like the difficulty level is still very, very high for us, but it's the number of skills. When you get to the Olympic level, they have to put so many skills into their routines. When they come to college, we're able to take the best of what they do and kind of shrink, if you will, the duration of these routines. So you'll see, a bar routine for us might last 25 seconds. A bar routine at the Olympic level might last twice that long. So we're still doing that level of difficulty, and Haley certainly physically was able to do pretty much anything at a world-class level. But the collegiate rules are such that it makes no sense for us to push the envelope to the ceiling of what these kids are capable of. Whereas at the Olympic level, I mean, their execution sometimes goes out the window because it's just about stacking difficulty. So philosophically, it's very different. We're much more about clean execution, really good landings, and making things clean, whereas at the Olympic level, it's stack your difficulty because you get two different scores. You get a difficulty score and you get an execution score. And that difficulty score makes the difference. That's why Simone Biles was so much better than everybody in the world, is that she could do things nobody else could do and do a lot of them. Yeah. And that's the biggest difference. We sort of have condensed it at the collegiate level.
I just saw Haley whipping up on some Olympians. That's all I know.
Dude, if she had wanted to pursue that path, and she didn't, she was all about, staying at the level 10 level, which is one step below the elite level, and then going to college. But had she chosen to do that, I think she would have been a force to deal with at the elite level.
Yeah, absolutely. Catching up with LSU gymnastics head coach Jay Clark here on OTB. Let's go back to this meet against Florida. What do you feel like or what are you hoping to get done to be able to go out there and put the best score? Like, what's one event? What's one thing that you're like, okay, I've started to see it. It's close to happening. We've played really well. We've done really well out there, but I want to see this as we challenge ourselves against Florida coming up.
Well, I think we've seen a lot of people go in spots on 3 events and be able to handle it and still keep us at a very high level. There's one spot on vault that we need to kind of settle into that middle part of our lineup on vault still, and it's hard to believe that when you're ranked number 2 in the country on an event, but we just want to make sure that we can reasonably expect every time we go out there that we're going to go 6 for 6, and we seem to have one little spot where it keeps giving us trouble here and there on that event. I'd like us to really get off to a great start in the first half of that meet. If we've had trouble in the past this year, it's been early in meets, whether we start on bars or whether we start on vault. And this week will be the away team, so we start on bars. And I want to see us start fast on bars and then continue that through the first half of the meet. Because I think if we do that, we've got a chance to finish very strong. I like where we are on beam and floor right now. I think Courtney and Haley have done an amazing job getting our kids in a really good mindset and of consistency over there. I just want to see us improve on those first 2.
Coach, you have a luxury of so much depth on your team. I'm curious, as when you're deciding on the rotation for a meet, how much of that is a game day decision because of the depth you have? Maybe one person's not feeling it as well, doesn't have as good of a warm up. Is there every game time decisions that you thought that you make that you didn't think you'd make earlier in the week?
Well, we try not to do it right up at the time of the beginning of the competition, but we will make them late in the week. So we've had 2 days of practice so far. We're going to train tomorrow morning before we get on the airplane and go. And we'll make our decisions immediately after that practice and make sure they have it in their heads so they can wrap their heads around. Sometimes people are surprised if they're not in, and sometimes they're surprised if they are. And I like to give them time to kind of digest that so that we can set aside any emotional reaction to that and make sure that we're dialed in for everybody else. It can be difficult. It's the best problem in the world to have, but nonetheless, it's a problem, and it's the one I want to have, is to be able to have to make those decisions. And we're still making decisions. And in a typical year, by now, we've sort of settled in. We know exactly what we want to do, all 6 on every event. That's not the case right now because we've got some options that have all done very well. And I just want to make sure that we go with the hot hand and that we put the right people in that give us the best chance to win. So I wouldn't say game time, but it is close. I mean, we try to do it definitely within the last 24 hours of each meet.
All right, there he is, Jay Clark, LSU gymnastics head coach, going on the road to take on those Gators. Hashtag Gator hater here at OTB.
Stinking Gators.
Coach, we appreciate it. You're the best. Good luck coming up. Safe travels, and we'll catch up again with you next week.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Tigers.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, you as well. I mean,
It's great.
that's double whammy, Florida.
I love
Hate
it.
there.
Wow. He interrupted my question to talk about how much he doesn't like him. I
He
love
didn't
it.
want you to even finish.
Let's
He
go.
didn't want you to even say it out
Exactly
loud.
what I wanted him to do.
Yeah, good luck. It's
awesome.
going to be a good meet. Number 2 versus number 4 teams in the country on the SEC network coming up this weekend. All right, we will step away. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. When you go to the website, remember, you can have a chat with a live agent right there on the homepage. Also, remember, you can check out cases they can handle for you in the courtroom and past client results, all right there at your fingertips at getgordon.com. You can always pick up the phone, speaking of fingertips, and you can dial your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Call the 8s today. Get in contact with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, no matter where you're at, top to bottom, everywhere in between, in the state of Louisiana, and have that conversation. Get Gordon and get it done.
Right, Gordon McKernan, personal injury attorneys. Like Gordon McKernan's all we know who he is. We've seen the billboards, we've seen the commercials. We know the amazing work that he does in the community. Gives back to Louisiana, gives back to Baton Rouge, and we see the work that he does with the G team. Man, it's just all the great stuff with NIL and everything. But at the heart of everything, they're here to fight for you. If you've been injured, whether it's on the job, car accident, give them a call. Let them fight for you. They are the ones who know. Right there, getgordon.com.
Stop making the eyes at me, I'll stop making.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
When your shoulders are frozen, over you're an explosion. Your name isn't real, but I don't care for sound and lights in a fuse. My results in a bang, bango. I bet that you look good on the dance floor. I don't know if you're looking for romance or I don't know what you're looking for. I said I bet that you look good on the dance floor. Dancing to electro pop like a robot from 1984.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Always want to remind you about our friends over at Rouse's. Rouse's.com is the website. Go to the website today. Find the location that is nearest you. Once you do, check out the weekly ads they have at your local Rouse's. Once you find the weekly ads, once you walk into the store, you'll be blown away with all the different options. You got the breakfast bar, the lunch bar, the sushi bar, rotisserie chickens, already made meals that you can pick up, already made sides. So it makes it incredibly easy for you. Always going to have a local flavor at your local Rouse's as well. So go find the location nearest you. It is crawfish season as well. So you know you're going to have many options there for you. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. I do think Jay Clark just went up in the tier list of LSU coaches.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He kind of dropped that coach speak a little bit.
Yeah.
I love hearing it.
Yeah.
Now he came back, threw the respect on it, which I don't have that.
He does.
He does. We don't. No respect. No respect. You jort wearing losers, nerds, dorks.
You don't even look good doing it.
Yeah, you don't even look good doing it.
I don't think we get to play them in baseball this year either. Oh, we do. Actually, it's in Baton Rouge, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's
I'm
go.
thinking about it. Because I remember Doring was talking about coming to the games. I think it's very, like maybe the last series of
It's
the
usually
year.
late in the season.
I think it's the very last series. It's going to be home.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Punks.
Did I see some people?
Does Matt Flynn need to throw out the first pitch?
Wait. Do I need to hit up Bill? Would you do it, Matt?
Hell yeah.
I will hit up Bill and ask him.
Wind up or stretch?
I would.
You got to do.
I would go wind up.
You have
full
to.
wind up.
So when I
overhead, or you
I used to
going-
pitch as a youth. I had a big high kick too. I had like because I was Nolan Ryan guy. Nolan Ryan high kick.
Yeah.
I might come out with pants on. Baseball pants. I'll
I
have
think we
pants
should
on. I'll
have
a
you
pant.
throw it out on Friday, Kevin Falk throw it out on Saturday, and
You on Sunday.
No, Ty Davis Price on Sunday. He
No,
just set the rushing record.
It would make
against
more
Florida.
sense for you to throw it out.
Yeah.
I got youth baseball.
Do it on
The
Friday.
Lugnut's going to be out there.
Do it on
One
Friday.
night you got to go and throw it.
Can we do double cannon action?
Yeah. They've done that before.
OTB at the same time?
Yeah, they've done that where like Riley Green threw it out and then I think the governor did after or something like that.
Hell yeah.
I want to go at the same time though, and I want to see who
Oh.
gets there faster.
Bro, I'd sling that thing. I'd be at the park 3 hours early, getting treatment.
I don't know that they'd let us do it before Florida. We'd be ripping our jerseys off, trying to get the crowd ready to go.
We're going to make this happen.
Wearing
I
Gator
would
Hater
sneak
shirts.
a beer in my back pocket. And I'd shotgun it right there on the mound. Be awesome.
I've got a lot of ideas flying
I
through
need
my
the
brain
gun to
right
be
now.
working too so I can see the speed on that.
Oh, I'll swing that thing. I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid to throw a wild pitch.
71.
I ain't afraid to throw a wild pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, just
You
don't
shouldn't
miss.
be.
Just don't miss short. You can throw it third row. Just don't miss
Oh,
short.
that'd be embarrassing if it went straight to the ground.
Dude, I would throw it probably about 85, make the catcher go down, have to dig it out of the dirt, hit him like in the inner thigh, hurt him for the game.
Or this might actually be when we're in
What?
Idaho.
We'll
Fishing
figure it
trip.
out.
We'll figure it out. More OTB when we come back.
Off the bench.